Hey guys, PrinceofMacedon here, doing a Napoleon Total War Online commentary video. This is a multiplayer battle, a 3 versus 3. I am fighting with the British contingent, and the other side are commanding the Prussians. And I brought two new DLCs that are new to Great Britain, and that is the King's German Legion Foot and the King's German Legion Dragoons. But I'll show you those later, and in the middle, that is where MK Neighbors was stationed, and on the very right, that's where, I believe his name is Warcry. But you can see he brought a squadron of the Scots Grey, and that is another new DLC. And overall, you can see what our entire army combined is composed of. And there's some other new DLCs, and the one I didn't show you was the King's German Legion Dragoons and the King's Legion Lightfoot. But I'll show you close-ups of each unit. Right here, this is one of my units. This is the King's German Legion Foot, and I put them just behind my regular foot units. And you can see one of MK Neighbors' new DLCs, and this is the King's German Legion Lightfoot, and those are skirmishers. What else? Oh yeah, I brought the King's German Legion Dragoons. There they are. And in case you're wondering who the King's German Legion were, they were basically Germans from the Hanover region, and they basically escaped those regions when Napoleon invaded, and so they fought for Great Britain. Alright, so look at the Prussian army, and altogether, this is what their army is composed of. And across from me is Amin Rara or something. And I don't remember which flanks or which center the other two players occupied. But opposite me is Amin Rara. And I apologize if I got his name incorrect. Alright, so because this battle's so long, I just decided to cut off, 8 minutes? And I didn't even care where I cut it, I just wanted to cut it because that last video I showed, that took like forever to show. Anyways, this is the very start of the battle. This is the, these are the units commanded by MK Neighbors. He started firing with his skirmishers, and that is where first blood was drawn. And what was I gonna say? That's pretty much it. Alright, so this is my side of the army. These are my cav, and I'm going to crash into Amin Ramra's skirmishers. And this cav charge is actually going to knock Amin Ramra out of the war, because basically he sees this charge, and when he sees that he can't deal with my cav, he decides to disconnect from the game. So once I knock out the skirmishers, it's basically me taking out his AI controlled units, and that's really not much of a contest. And that's going to let me free up my flank so I can turn and attack the center, and then finally the right flank of the Prussian players. But yeah, this is me knocking out his skirmishers, and you can see that the my other two teammates are also engaged already. But there's some sweet action going on right now, and you're currently looking at my riflemen. And as for skirmishers, I only brought 4 rifles. Overall, my army consisted of 1 general staff, 5 foot units, 1 King's German Legion Foot, 4 rifles, 1 lifeguard, 2 King's German Legion Dragoons, and 1 horse guard. But anyways, if you have trouble following the action, you can always look on the mini-map. We are the red, and then the Prussians are the blue. And of course, I am on the very left. On the mini-map, it looks like I'm on the very right, but this is actually the left wing of our army. And I'm going to scroll towards the center so you can see the action that MK Neighbors is involved in. He's getting some cab chargers from whoever, and I'm gonna show you the very right wing. This is the side commanded by Warcry, and he's having some trouble with his setup because he doesn't have many skirmishers. I believe he only has 2 units of the King's German Legion Lightfoot. But pretty much you want to use more skirmishers than that, to play it safe. Alright, so this is, what is this? Oh yeah, this is me. After I knocked out Amin Rara, this is when I started to turn on the center of the Prussian army. And that guy, whoever was in the center, he decided to turn his forces to meet my advance. And this is going to really screw up the Prussian army now that their flank is caving in. And also at this time, my nearest ally, who is MK Neighbors, he's also bringing some of his troops to help me flank the center of the Prussian army here. So this isn't really going too well for the Prussians. And a lot of this is due to Amon Ra getting knocked out so early. I mean, really, he shouldn't have disconnected after losing to skirmishers. But I can see that it's demoralizing to lose your men carelessly like that. But still, you shouldn't leave your allies, you know, to hang out and dry like that. Because a human-controlled army is way better than an AI-controlled army. In any case, these are my guys. These are my foot units. And yeah, the guy whoever's commanding the Prussian center, he's not gonna last too long because it's not just me, but it's also MK neighbors who are caving in on him. And it's not too much longer before we complete the flanking move and we roll down the very left side of the Prussian army. But don't know what to say. Basically, you're just seeing a lot of musket fire. As I was saying earlier, these team battles, I don't like them, but I gotta admit that in terms of recreating a Napoleonic battle, team battles are probably the best way to go because you can show a whole lot more troops. Yeah, there's definitely a feeling of epicness when you see this many units on the battlefield at once. And you can see that my computer handles this pretty well. So it'd be nice if I actually like team battles, but honestly, I don't like team battles. I'd rather have control of my troops. I hate relying on my teammates. It just really makes me feel helpless. I feel kind of like a damsel in distress, except that I'm not pretty. All right, so these are my horses. I am crashing into these Prussian foot guards, and really once your team starts rolling, it's really hard to reverse the course because weight of numbers is really, I mean, it can be really decisive. Anyways, I'm taking my horses and I'm going to keep crashing into these Prussian units. I just want to speed up this process because I know Warcry on the very right, he doesn't have many skirmishers, so I want to help relieve some of that pressure that's being exerted on him. So that's why I'm being semi reckless, but of course I'm always pretty reckless to begin with. But still, here I have justification for it, and I'm taking my horses. I'm going to just keep rolling in here. Now I'm going for these two general staff units. You can see that they put their general staff units together because they basically have nowhere else to go. So they're gonna run away with their general staff because they don't want those guys dying. These general staff units, once a friendly unit is within their sphere of influence, that means they're getting a slight morale bolstering. So you don't want to lose your generals the way I do. You want to actually keep them alive. And I don't know what to talk about. It's a team battle. It's teams. We're teaming up against another team. It's team battle. All right, so I'm still chasing after his general. He whoever this guy was, he put his musketeers into squares, and that was pretty good in weakening my cav. But at this point, I don't really care because I have all my infantry, and here I finally get the idea to hit the spacebar, and now you can see which troops are actually mine. And I'm forming this line. These guys are following in the wake of my cav advance, and basically I'm just going to get some extreme flanking fire on those Prussians. And if you look at the minimap, you can just see a lot of red dots right now. And it's a pretty good battle. I mean, I'm glad my teammates didn't want to sit back on the ridge because that would have been kind of boring. Anyway, back to an earlier unit I was talking about. Well, that I mentioned, it was the Scots Grey. Those guys are really sweet. I had no idea that they were a DLC until I saw my allies' horse units, and I would have definitely included those guys in my army if I knew about them. And the cool thing about those guys is that there's this really awesome painting about the Battle of Waterloo, where they show the charge of the Scots Greys. And of course, the painting isn't the only reason why they're cool. I mean, they have a lot of history behind them. But for people who don't know, like, about them, I'm pretty sure a lot of you have seen the painting of the Scots Grey. And it's just really it's just a really epic painting. I like it. Oh, so our opponents, they have 2 more units. They have this. Actually, they have 3 more units. They have these 2 Prussian squares in the very back. They have some of those units back there, but I'm going to use my riflemen to take out those guys because I'm closest to them. And I'm also using my foot units to take out those squares. towards the right flank. But those are my riflemen. We're moving towards that unit of foot guards. And here I took my general, and I'm going to just bring him a little closer. But when I see his guys turning around like that, I take my general back out of there. But yeah, pretty much my riflemen have the edge here, because those guys they don't have the range, and their morale's already broken. And I think that's the end of the video. So good, because I'm not a thing to say. Oh wait a minute, no I'm not. There's one more unit. Okay, there we go. Alright, so that was a good game to everybody involved. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope you guys enjoyed all the new DLCs for Great Britain. Peace out, I guess, and blah 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 blah.